Welcome back to the Naked Podcast. Today I'm chatting with my daughter Alexis, who was with us on episode 35 to talk about how traveling changed her life, how being a part of different cultures and eating new food and meeting new people and volunteering in places she never imagined changed the way she saw herself and the world around her. But today she's talking about how it feels to settle after all those years of travel, to find love, to start a business, and build a life of her own. Maybe one of the hardest things she ever did was trust her intuition and know that it was time for her to pause. But she has learned that trusting herself has led her to the most joyful life beyond anything that she ever imagined. I am so thrilled she's here with us today to talk about the transition and being brave enough to start her own journey. Thank you so much for being here, for joining us on Naked today. Welcome to Season 2 of the Naked Podcast, a space where ordinary people, just like you and me, share the moments that changed everything. This podcast was inspired by a conversation I had with my grandma, who once said, "If more of us shared our stories, fewer of us would feel alone." And that's exactly what we do here. On Naked, we talk about all the things, the wins, the losses, the growth, and the struggles. These are raw, unfiltered conversations about the parts we rarely talk about but deeply connect us. We are grateful you are here as we open up about the moments that shaped us. This is the Naked Podcast. Well, welcome back to the Naked Podcast. Today I'm here with my eldest daughter, Lexi. We recorded something about a year and a half ago and we never got a chance to do like a part 2. And now life has like changed rapidly even since then. So I was like, this will be a perfect time to chat with you, like part 2 about where life has you. And ultimately, like traveling has changed the trajectory of your life forever.
That is true.
That is true.
It has changed quite a lot.
I think when we were last talking on the podcast, we talked about just like your experiences with traveling and how like your viewpoints on like cultures and experiences that we had just like it brought into your view and just how we traveled as a family and like the things that you took on as like I'll be the one finding the flights and I'll be the Airbnb girl on those things. But then eventually we kind of capped off on your life kind of taking a major change as you decided to plant roots in Nicaragua.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And like why you did that.
Yeah.
Do you want to expand on that?
Like go back and say what I said before?
Like you can just go from like you stayed here. Basically, the idea was that you were coming back for your bakery. You started a bakery, but we knew it was something bigger than that.
Yeah. No, I basically, mom and dad had said that they were leaving and they left pretty suddenly. And I had to decide if I was going to stay or go with them in a pretty rapid amount of time. It was like 2 days or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I don't think it was 2 days, but it was very quickly because we planned. We're like, we love Nicaragua. Like I don't know if
well, we had like a family meeting like a week before, and we were like, okay, we're gonna stay till I think it was like December or something like that, or until the following year. And so I was like, okay, that's what's gonna happen. And then you guys had come to me in Macau, and you're like, hey, we're deciding we're leaving. We're gonna book flights, and you were gonna book it that night. And so you're like, you can book flights later or whenever you want, but we're booking flights tonight. So if you want to book flights with us, let us know. And I was like, oh, that's quick little turnaround there. So yeah, in a short amount of time, I kind of decided that I was going to come back and do a trial in Nicaragua for 3 months, see how it went, and then visit you guys in December in Scotland and either move back with you guys or visit for a month and then come back to Nicaragua, depending on how things all
kind of
sort of flowed.
Yeah, because it was a really abrupt change. And for those of you who are listeners of the podcast, you'll maybe know more about that with our story with Ellie as to why we like pulled chute on Nicaragua. It was like this trauma that we were like, how do we do this well? And so the only thing we felt we could do was to like eject from this place to hopefully find her some healing, which really turned the whole family, like all of the things that we were going to do, kind of upside down. And you had only started your bakery in February, and this is now June, and we left on July 19th.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a very short time for you to see how your bakery could grow and what you could do with it. You invested money and time into it. It just felt too short to make that decision so quickly.
Yeah, well, I was like, look, I haven't even really been open for more than 3 months. I feel like I want to give it
more time
than just a little pop-up, basically, is what it felt like.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I ended up coming back and then decided to stay. I visited you guys in December and then came back after that. And then
And at what point when you moved to Nicaragua, what point were you like, oh no, this is where I want to be? Because I know when you left, you're like, I'm just gonna give it a go. Like I'm just gonna see
well,
how.
yeah, I mean it could have gone really terrible was the thing, is it was like I didn't want to lock myself in because I'm can be pretty determined. If I decided no, that's what I'm doing, then even if it went terrible, I would have continued doing it. And so I tried to stay pretty open and relaxed and just kind of feel it out and see if it was like the right decision or not. But like it was kind of just like a trial to see, which was basically a trial for me and Javier also because we had just started dating in February as well. And so I was like, I don't know if we haven't spent this much time together. All of our like yeah, all of the dating we had done up until that point was kind of between a lot of family and the stuff with Ellie going on. And so um, it would be very concentrated amount of time for 3 months. And we think very similarly. And we're like, yeah, it could go terrible. And we might not like each other at all. And so we were both pretty open in that aspect of it possibly not working out really at all because we'd only been dating for, I think, 3 or 4 months when I had made the decision to come back and try it out.
Yeah. And so at what point were you like, because you were here by yourself from October, November, December, you came to visit us.
Mm-hmm.
And at what point were you like, okay, did you know at that point when you came that you're like, no, my life has changed. Like I have a home now.
Well, I mean, I was coming back,
Mm-hmm.
and so I had already decided that was like what was going to happen. Obviously, I think I probably figured out pretty soon after I got back from Canada to being here that I was like, I'm gonna like at least give it a run and see how things go with the bakery, and then also with my relationship to see how things are, kind of. And it went really well, and so it's like, okay, guess I'm coming back.
I guess I'm coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something that surprised you about your discovery when you came back, whether it be about you or about like it was your first time not being with us, and we had a very tight knit family traveling together, especially made us even closer. Where it's like we'd spent so much time with each other, and then being on your own was like I remember you at the airport, like watching you walk away, being like, oh my gosh, like it's gonna be I don't know how many months until we see you again, and like was there a part of that journey that surprised you, what you discovered about yourself or about that experience?
I mean, I think it definitely really pushed me, obviously, to do. It kind of just felt like a sped up version of what would maybe happen over time. Um, yeah, I mean, it was strange coming back because everyone would always ask me like where my family was and stuff. Because like, oh my god, I haven't seen you ever without your mom because we did everything together. And so it was strange not having. There's always someone in the house who wants to do something, and so it was strange not being like, oh, does someone want to like watch a movie or does someone want to do this? And so it was strange because when you want to have alone time when you're in a giant household full of people, it's like hard to find that.
Yeah.
And everyone's grown up so much more in the past like couple years too as well, where I feel like when people were younger it was more like, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? And so it was harder to find that alone time. And then when I moved here alone, I was like, oh, I have a lot of alone time. It's like a lot. And what am I going to do to like fill that time kind of? And so it was like, yeah, I realized I don't like doing things alone as much as maybe I had hoped when I was younger. It's like, oh, I wish I could just read a book all day and do nothing, or not do nothing, but like come home and just read a book and all of that. But there's people who want to do things, or you have to make dinner for people and that sort of stuff. But I mean, the one thing I did enjoy was the freedom of like going to the market every day, buying what I wanted for dinner and then making it. I did have to work on my like portion sizes because I was really used to only making food for like 6 people.
Yeah.
So the first time I bought fish, I bought like 4 pounds, and I did not realize that was too much fish. And I was like, holy Lord, I'm going to be eating fish for like a week and a half straight. So yeah, I guess just I realized those sorts of things in a way.
I remember being on the phone call with you one day and you were laughing as you were explaining you and Javier were moving some things on your moto and like just like this sense of like freedom in you.
Yeah.
And you being the oldest of four, you've always been like kind of the mother ghost of like getting all the ducks in order and making sure everybody was doing the right things and like taking charge. And a lot of the times, and the kids just were like, well, Lexi's like a second mom, so we'll just do whatever she says, which put you into a place of like being really, I don't know, just like the most mature one in the room. And then it seemed like when you moved here, there was like a bit of freedom for you to kind of just be like, not have to put everybody in a row. Do you remember that conversation, or remember you like,
Yeah.
I can just be.
I mean, I feel like a part of it is like I'm coming into Javier's world, and so he kind of manages those sorts of things for me. The like, where if he was moving to Canada, it would be different. I would take charge in a lot of circumstances because I'm like, he doesn't know how to do this in this sort of a setting, in this culture, like how the rules and things are.
Yeah.
And so I'll take charge. But since I was coming into his world, I kind of let go of a lot of things. And I was like, yeah, I don't really know how to do that. Or I don't even, like, he made me speak Spanish to people. But like in the beginning, he kind of did that for me as well. And so it was like I was kind of very, very free and didn't have as much. In some ways, yes, because now I had to like pay rent and buy all my own food and all of that sort of stuff that I didn't have before.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel that stressful at all because I don't know, I guess I had less responsibilities, it felt like, instead of more.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I also feel like it depends. I feel like I'm sort of a chameleon in a way. And so whoever I'm around, I kind of morph into the other side that's needed. So if I'm with people who are more like relaxed and chill, then I kind of amp up in a way to like balance out that. And then if people are more like intense or excited or anything, then I kind of am more mellow to kind of balance that out. And so with him being more like responsible and being in charge of those things, I feel like I was allowed to be more free and relaxed and enjoy things, which is nice because we do laugh together a lot and we really enjoy like just having fun, which is I think something that I have kind of not allowed myself to do, is just like have fun sometimes.
Like that's been able to emerge in you a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Free.
But I couldn't be with someone who was just so fun because then I would be like, you don't take anything serious.
I'd be counterbalance
yeah,
that.
and I'd be like,
now I got to be in charge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so he's a good balance of, yeah, like being very funny and jokey and can have a good time, but is also like takes care of things where he pays all the electricity bills. I have to go for the bakery and I forget every 10 seconds that I need to go do that. And so it's nice someone just like taking care of those things. But again, if we were in Canada, that would be my responsibility because I live there and I know the ways that things work and the customs and all of that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. But it kind of makes you take charge. And like you are somebody who really balances out, where like you really see what's needed, what's lacking. And like if you need to be the calm, you are the weed they need, or if you need to be like more charismatic, then you kind of like slip into that role. It feels like you get to be more like free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because now you're not like counting the heads, the chickens. You're just like get it to be your own person.
There is nothing as relaxing as going through an airport alone. It's very nice.
You don't have to worry about anybody else.
Nobody else.
No.
No. Nobody like throwing stuff on the floor by accident or, not that the kids were like crazy people,
But you're hyper aware as well of what's happening.
Yeah.
That tends to be you were like that at 10. You'd be like hyper aware of like the kids like being maybe too loud, like in church or something like that. Like even if nobody else heard them, if you heard them, it was too loud. Like
it's too much.
It's too much. Nobody else is like, I didn't hear them. Like, no, you need to calm down.
You need to relax.
Yeah, it's kind of a role that you've taken. It's really neat to see that you've been able to be like more free. And like that part can actually shine in you a lot because you are with somebody who is really stable, and you don't have to worry about things not getting done. You just can.
No, I don't think I could be with a flippant person because wouldn't make me feel safe. And so with me, someone who is like very stable, very like, I know exactly what he's going to do, which is like really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can count on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you love as you're like getting closer, maybe you're looking forward to? So the listeners, Lexi's getting married in like 5 weeks. I have a countdown calendar, but I forgot to look at it today, so I can't be sure exactly how many days.
She does like
But it
today.
is like, I think, yeah, 50 something or 40 something days. Um, and what are you looking forward to as you like think about like really creating more roots here? And now it's like you have a partner for life and these things. It's like, you're the first and actually in 10 grandkids that is making this step in their life. And in our family especially, but what are some of the things that you're like, I'm really looking forward to this chapter? Because we've lived everywhere. We've lived a lot of places, I should say.
Yeah.
And we've called a lot of places home. And I can recall times and you're like, there's just something about having a place that you call home.
I mean, I feel like I was the most relaxed about having a place to call home aside from dad in the whole family.
Yeah.
It's pretty chill on that, but there is a nice feeling to like coming home and having like a place and roots and things. I feel like the pace of life here I do really enjoy. It is very chill, very relaxed. Yeah, where it's hard to run certain paces of different places when they're more rapid. It's hard to be more relaxed in those certain environments, and so with here it really really forces you to just chill out, which is nice. I do like the pace here. I'm excited if anything more because I love traveling and I love sharing that with him because he does also really love traveling too. And after going to Europe together, I wasn't sure how traveling was going to go with someone because there can be some unspoken expectations of like what you think it's going to be or how it's going to go. And I was pretty relaxed on that, but I was like, really don't know how, he's going to be with like not sleeping, time changes. It was his first time ever flying, like all of those sorts of things. You're not eating really, like different languages. And you really see a true person on like a giant travel day. You really like, yeah. And it went so well. And he was very chill and very relaxed. And it went really, really good. And he loved traveling. And so I think if anything, I'm excited to lay more roots down here, but also to like branch off from here a little bit more. I feel like I've been planted here for a little while.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to just look at things more in like a team way, I feel like, because it's like when you're dating, it's like us, obviously, but I think now maybe going into marriage, it'll definitely be more like, I don't know, like you're a group package now at this point, where people just assume you'll do things together instead of asking, oh, is this person also coming? It's kind of just more, I don't know.
Yeah.
Assumed in a way. And it is a very big commitment. It's obviously for like, till death do us part is the plan. And so I feel like there's a lot of security in that because you both know that you feel the same way and are ready to make the same commitment to each other. So, yeah.
Stepping into that. And how has it been for you? Because you've submerged yourself into a new language, a new culture, obviously a new family and all that stuff. How do you find, you took huge leaps in learning the language and you're really good at communicating and being able to express yourself. I think that's one of the things I find the hardest is like not being able to express myself. I know a couple words and then that doesn't get me very far.
Yeah.
But you can fully express yourself and have like dinners with his family and like these kinds of things. How have you found that like submersion into the culture, but also into a family?
I mean, I feel like I had a pretty good idea of what it would be like considering like your family and dad's family are very different. And so I could see like what that would be like being with like your family and also being submerged into another person's family as well. And so I don't think there was anything that was necessarily like surprising in that at all. But yeah, I mean, when you guys aren't here, when I first got here, it definitely felt very, very nice to have people looking out for me and all of that.
Yeah.
Which it would have felt very lonely if I didn't have them kind of like envelop me into their family as well. And so I feel very grateful that they kind of just were like, no, like very early on, even things like they call me daughter-in-law or just like daughter. And I was like that, or his sister, she calls me sister-in-law pretty quick after I moved here. And I was like, that's just a little too soon, I think. Like, I don't think you should be calling me that. then I realized, oh, it's like very normal when you're just dating someone to call them that.
Oh.
Cuñada. And so I was like, oh, I think she's calling me sister-in-law out here. I don't really feel like we're at that point yet. What do you think? And he's like, oh no, that's normal. So things like that where they were like, no, like you're part of the family now, which they said very early on, which you guys didn't say that to Javier very early on. It wasn't until, a little further ahead. I was like, oh, this is like, they're really, I don't know if they're really certain or what, but they're very like
us?
no, them. Like pretty soon they were like, no, she's family. I was like, I don't know if that's just like a cultural thing or what it is exactly, but they, called me family very, very quickly, where that was very sweet. And I was like, oh, that's nice because my family's not here. So
Yeah.
it does feel nice to be
included.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe too, like, it's part of that is like you live so close to them, so they're seeing you so frequently.
Yeah.
So it feels like you are part of the family because you're at events and things like that. And we left so shortly after you guys started dating that we didn't really get a chance to really get to know him in the way that they got to know you.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Because you guys left pretty quick. So yeah. No, I did spend quite a bit of time with them and still do. They live next door. So
yeah, so you have a lot of time with your in-laws.
Yeah. No, but they're very sweet. They're very different from you guys. His family is very lovely and very sweet, but they're definitely, they're loud too. I thought my family was loud. I was like, no, there's only 3 extra over there and they're way louder.
It's not based on numbers.
It's not based on numbers. No, it is definitely not.
No.
Yeah.
I have a question to ask you. So when you, like, we've traveled so much and we dreamed about different places and things like that, what parts of your life now reflect what you imagine for yourself?
Like none. Like not at all. I was like, I love cities. I love cities. I love giant cities with like restaurants and events and things happening. I don't love hot climates that much, to be honest. They're fine, but I've never been like a huge let's go to the beach girl. Like that's never been like my dream in life. I was like I would either love to live in Scotland, which is like yes, they have beaches, but you're not going swimming in them.
Yeah.
Or like I want to live in like a major city, like because I just love the hustle and bustle and I love that sort of a thing. Because I just love.
And you love fashion.
Yeah, I like dressing up. I like having things to go do. I like, going to like just events. Even Calgary has like so many events all the time. We were like, sometimes they'll be like, oh, there's nothing to do. I'm like, no, come here and then tell me how you feel about that. There's literally nothing to do. Yeah. Like you can go to the beach and watch the sunset and that's like the most fun you're going to have basically. If you're not a partier, there's lots of parties to attend here, but I think that's what happens also when you're in small towns with not a lot going on.
Yeah.
Is like, I mean, San Juan is also like a party central in a sense, but yeah, it definitely doesn't reflect at all what I thought I was going to be living in. Definitely never imagined myself like on the beach.
I remember when we drove into this town, maybe the second time, and you were like, there's this one little restaurant.
No, it's like a dive bar.
A dive bar. And we saw all these like gringos and you're like,
there's all these like old expats with like leathery dried skin and they like are just day drinking at 10 a.m. on like a Monday. I was like, what is this?
They're like, who would live in this town?
Who would do this to themselves? Literally. I was like, yeah, this is terrible. We're gonna need to get out of here. It has been whitewashed.
Yeah. And then it was funny because we felt that way, but then the longer we were here, the more we liked it. And then the more we liked it, the longer we stayed.
Mm-hmm.
And then the more people and friendships we made. And then Javier came into your life and that was like game over.
Game over right there? No, I mean, yeah. Sometimes I do think when I'm like, I'm here in this town with like... Javier told me today, Revis is getting a movie theater. And I was like, what? That's amazing. It's like 30-minute drive from here. Like, that is so cool. No, it's definitely not what I expected. But that being said, we do have a lot of plans to travel often. And I do love the idea of returning here. I have really fallen in love with the place, for sure. I do really love it. Yeah, I do. And I feel like with traveling and coming back, it's a great place to return to.
Yeah, because it's so calm. And it's like, Lots of times you come back from a trip, you're like, I need a vacation from my trip. And San Juan is like a vacation spot.
Yeah.
It's like, it couldn't be more beachy, surfy town than anywhere else you're gonna. And it's gorgeous. Like,
It's
the
so naturally beautiful.
It
It's
is.
insane.
And so untouched and so uncommercialized.
Very uncommercialized.
Hang tight. We'll be back after this short break. Season 2 is finally here. When I first started the Naked podcast, I honestly had no idea where it would lead us. I just knew that honest conversations really do matter. Somewhere along the line, I realized that the best parts often happen after we stop recording, the quieter moments, the ones you don't plan for. So this season, I'm inviting my guests to stay a little longer for those conversations. I am so excited to share that the Naked podcast now has a Patreon, a space with extended episodes, written versions of my solo pieces, and a few of the things I am building just for you. If this show has moved you, made you feel seen, or just kept you company, I'd love for you to join me there. All the details are in the show notes, just a little invitation to stay a bit longer. As we take this short break, think about someone who might need this story in their ears today and pass it on. Now, let's get back into it. So it has that beauty, and it's just so raw. And I think that's the part that's nice when you do go to cities. I remember when we left here, we did go to like a big city. We're like, wow, there's billboards and stuff. Everything is calling you.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, is like, things aren't in your face trying to sell you things here. It's just, it's the rawness of nature and the beauty of that. And it's really nice to return. It's a really good space to like unwind. So going on a vacation and having this as a return spot is like a really nice next, like, continuation of a traveling experience.
Yeah.
It allows you to, it's not pushing you. There's nothing pushing you. Like, no one's in a hurry here unless they're in a car.
Yeah. Yeah. And then even then, it's only the taxi drivers.
Yeah. There's not that urge or angst to like be doing or trying to accumulate a bunch of things. It's like, nah.
No, definitely the consumerism here is way down.
Yeah.
It's like hard to buy things, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really hard.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
not a lot here. Everything you need, which is what matters. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to buy like groceries for the entire week and throw out half your fridge.
No.
You go to this fruit market and buy what you need for the day, and go get your meat or whatever. And then, I mean, that's what I do, at least.
Well, because it's fresh. It's like the markets and the fish markets are like your pantry. You're not like stocking your fridge full of things. You're not taking a Costco run. You're going to just go get the things that you need for that day.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's super fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the fish, everything. It's like, yeah. Very, very just like raw in what it is.
Coming back to it, it's a good return. What do you kind of envision for yourself? I know sometimes we talk about this and like, I'm just like present, but what are some things you kind of envision for yourself, like long term, 5-year you? Like, I know you said you want to do a lot of traveling and things like that.
I mean, yeah, I would love to do a lot of traveling, and then I want Javier to see a lot more as well, because he really loves it, and so I would love to like share that with him. I would love to go and visit Canada because he wants to see like where I grew up and all of that. In 5 years, I don't know. We do want to start a family, but I want to have a couple more years of like seeing more things. Like, I've never been to Japan, and I really want to go to Japan, and Portugal and Morocco and those sorts of places. Not that you can't do that with kids, it just adds, another level of things. And so, yeah, I think a lot more traveling. Finishing the house. We are doing more construction things. We want to build a second level to the house. Yeah, probably that sort of stuff. But I mean, we both have the exact same picture of what we want the future to look like, which is good because we're both on like the same sort of timeline, which is helpful. So yeah.
How has it been for you to see our family? Because we've had so much talk over the years about like partners coming in. I remember one point you're like, it's actually really nerve-wracking bringing somebody into the family because of how the conversations like that have been around it. Like, we are close and tight-knit family. Like, oh geez, like, is anyone going to be suitable? Like, and that goes for all of you because you all have similar views on each other, being like, well, we'll see who you bring, Mikkel. And like, then he brings somebody and it's like, well, we didn't really like her.
We didn't like her.
You know? And so there are these opinions you all have for each other, being like, she didn't pass the test, or like, and like bringing Javier into the family. How was it, but how is also for you now seeing us all together? We just spent Christmas together with his son, and like all of us were here as the first time. We were like 8 of us. What is that like for you?
I mean, in when I first met him, I did not introduce him to the family. I was like, I need a second on this because everyone has their own opinions. And as much as I would like to say we are very accepting, but actually quite judgmental. So, like, really though, like in lots of different ways. Like, Mikkel didn't like Javier in the beginning. He was fine, but like it had more to do with him being like feeling like he was losing me.
Yeah, and
but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like tricky in the beginning, like you guys all did like him. But like he said one thing to Ellie where like it's his like he also does like he spoke English at work, but not really anywhere outside of that. And so when he met me, it was like a full plunge into speaking English like all the time. And like Ellie really wanted to go to the store with me and Keelan and Javier to go and do something, but we didn't have enough space because we only had one motorbike. So we're already putting 3 people on one motorbike. And he's like, sorry, Ellie, there's not enough space. And she looks so sad. He's like, don't look sad, just smile. And she did not like that he told her to smile. And so she's like, no, I don't like him anymore. I'm like, oh my Lord. Like the cutoff is quick and swift in this family. I was like, well, too bad, Elle, because like I don't think that was anything serious at all.
Yeah.
And so
in hindsight, she's probably just
she
being
was
13.
like, oh yeah, I'm being
11 or whatever.
But in that sense, I feel like it is actually quite tricky to bring people in a sense. And I'm also like that way. When Mikkel brings in people, I'm like, yeah, no.
Well, it's funny because you brought other people in the past into our family, and they were like, we were going to see them at their shows. We had them over our house for dinner. So
yeah, but that's because
I think it also
didn't really have like a huge interest.
Yeah, so maybe you didn't care as much.
I didn't like.
But everybody like was like, oh, we're singing, we're having goodbye parties with one of the people, and they're sitting in our living room with their music going at it. It also maybe complicated it because of I feel like he came into your life at the perfect time for you, but at one of the worst times to know our family. Mikkel was like in his own world. Ellie was really going through some difficult things, which put a huge stress on the rest of us. Mm-hmm. It was a really sticky time in some ways.
Yeah. But I mean, now you guys obviously like, you all love him. I think it just in the beginning, I actually do. I told you I was always nervous about bringing someone in because people have a lot to say. And so when I originally was like, no, I'm not bringing him over to the house for like a family dinner or anything for a little while because I want my opinion formed of him first before I let anyone else decide for me what they think of this person.
Yeah.
And so I just waited a little bit because normally I would just immediately invite someone over, or, you know.
Well, you didn't want to meet any of our friends. We had family down here that you're very, very close to. You're like, I don't want them to get to meet him and everything. Like,
no.
I think because you really cared for him, you were like, I don't want anybody's outside opinion.
No, I didn't.
Because you really did care for him. And you're like, if someone says one thing about you can be easily tipped.
So easily tipped. And also, like, if someone just says one thing and they might not even mean it in a certain way, I can internalize that so intensely. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I know myself enough to know that I do care for this person. Don't know how much yet, but I just want to keep it so that I can form my own opinion and then explain things if I need to, if that makes sense, because
you're not as wavered by somebody's input about something. You're like, no, that's not what I think about him. I already know him.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, but no, I do really appreciate how much you guys have like fully brought him into the family now. And even with like his son too, Liam, he's very, very, you guys have really like adopted him into the family, which is really sweet and kind. And yeah, which I know Javier so appreciates as well. Like, I mean, who wouldn't want more people to love their child?
There's nothing like when someone loves your kid, what that does to a parent's heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. Like, I mean, I was talking to a friend the other day about how you imagine. So you maybe in some ways you imagine who your kids are going to be with, or you have an idea maybe. Mm-hmm. And even though we thought for sure you're going to marry an Italian and you're going to live in, well, I
Italian?
don't know, somewhere in Europe. We didn't really know where. But we were like, I'm going to live in Europe. I just need to find a guy that knows how to make curry.
Yeah.
And that being like top of Lexi's list. But just like, then you see your child with somebody, and you're like, man, I couldn't have handpicked a better person.
Well, that's very sweet.
You know, like he fits you so well and complements your personality and the way that you'd like to do things and your quirks and he just is like was custom made for you, it feels
I'm
like.
such a serious and easily put off person
You
about
are.
absolutely everything. I'm very difficult. Very difficult.
You're easily annoyed.
So easily annoyed.
And he just hasn't.
He just doesn't take anything too serious.
Oh, and
He tries to annoy me on on purpose. Just with things, and it just doesn't
work.
Doesn't work.
No, you just think he's too cute, and like
I just can't handle it.
You can't handle his cuteness. And it's so nice to see you are with somebody who compliments you that way. And even the way that you guys parent Liam together and like are really fluid in those decisions together. And it's like, it's such a beautiful thing because, you know, as I was talking to my friend, like, yeah, there's some people in your life that you're like, I just never imagined that, you know, and you really hope that that's not going to be for your kids.
But you say it like that, I just never really imagined them with this person. Or
right.
With a positive spin. Like, I just never imagined this for them.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's just, you know, there's some people you are a little cautious with their decisions or maybe even saddened by their decisions. And it's just so like fills my mom heart to know like you're with somebody that's loves you and that compliments you and that is truly just the best fit for you and you for him. Like the two of you just complement each other so well.
We do, and I mean we work through conflict very similarly where I mean, we've never really had like an argument. We've had conversations about things, but you know, not really like an argument, which I think is also like very different for him and how things are done here, obviously, right? So you're with like some intense people. He's obviously had past relationships and things, and so I think we were talking about it the other day where he helped me grow in so many ways, but I also helped him grow in a lot of ways as well because of even just like he never would parent Liam the way that we're doing it together now if I wasn't here, obviously, because I think that how it's done here is quite different than how I want to raise kids. And so I'm very much more like of the patient mindset and like not in like gentle parenting where I'm like the child decides everything, but like, you know, I don't agree with speaking loud tones at children. I just don't agree with that. And so there's certain things which I feel like with him having a child has been super helpful in a sense because I feel like you don't know what someone's parenting style is going to be until you're in it.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're like, oh, I had no idea. This is how you wanted to do it. And so in so many ways, Liam's not my child, but we have a really, like he wants us to kind of be doing it in a partnership, which is what I've like, we both want that, where he didn't put those expectations on me, but I was like, I would, you know, he's going to be in my life forever. Like I want to have a say in what goes on. And so we do things very much together in that sense where I feel like we're kind of creating our own parenting style with including things from him and me that we want to see going forward, which is just like not a test run. It isn't, but it's like for me, it's like I get to see what it's going to be like with my own children running around in the world and what he's going to be like as a dad and a father.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I can appreciate that, to be honest.
Yeah. Allows you insight as to like,
yeah.
And working out some of those kinks that maybe you don't work out until you do have children in your life.
I mean, yeah, children can add a lot of conflict into a relationship.
Yeah.
And you might not even realize it until they're there. But, yeah, I feel like we work very well in a team when it comes to kids.
Yeah.
Which is good.
It's really good.
Yeah. And he really respects what I have to say and vice versa, where it's not just like, oh, well, you're just like an added, you know what I mean? Like, he's mine, I do it this way. It's like very much like we always look at things like, okay, how could we do this differently? How can we, you know, go about it in a different way?
Yeah.
Which I think it's just how we're doing it. It's not the right way. It's not the wrong way. It's just
the way
works
you're doing
for
it.
us.
Yeah. Speaking of kids, how have you found being removed from the family for periods of time. So like the first time I think it was 3 months, and then it was a year or whatever it was. In these times, how have you found the returning and coming and the going in and out of that with the kids and the relationships with them?
Um, I mean, their dynamics have changed with me not being there. And so in some ways, I don't know, I feel like we talk pretty often, and so I feel like I'm always up to date on everything that's going on. But when I return, I do find that there's new systems in place that weren't there when I was there, and I think the kids are a little bit excited about maybe their own, what they call it, like it's not a hierarchy, it's a democracy now. Which I'm like, okay. Where sometimes I feel like maybe they look at it quite negatively in how I did things, but at the same time, I'm like, I was 7, making sure that, helping out in ways, and stuff got done.
It's also part of it's just like being the oldest child, or the oldest female. Like my
Yeah.
sister wasn't the middle child, but she definitely took a like lead role in telling us how to do things. And
Mm-hmm.
part of that is just like being the oldest child or just being the most dominant one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because like for me, I imagine like leaving here and like returning, and Liam will be, I don't know how old he'll be. He'll have like grown so much. Even since we got here,
Mm-hmm.
he's grown in personality. He's grown in like
Mm-hmm.
size. He's grown in connection to us, like all these things. And so like when you left, there was a lot of things kind of in the air, of things we hadn't really experienced as a family. And then we're coming back and seeing the kids. Like I feel like Ellie has especially grown and changed a lot since we left Nicaragua and become somebody
Yeah.
different.
No, that's been so positive seeing that, where it was nice because I felt like in some ways you were telling me she's grown so much, but I remember in Scotland I was able to tell you in all the ways that I saw,
Mm-hmm.
which were a lot. She'd really, yeah, and then even coming here again, because I saw you guys in Europe for a while as well. But yeah, so much progress, which is really, they're all getting older, becoming full-on adults.
Mm-hmm. Do you find that like shocking sometimes when you're just like, man, like you talk to them on the phone, but then you see them in real life and you're like,
To be honest, no. No. If anything, more so like while you guys are here, sometimes I'll look at Ellie and I'm like, wow, she's like a full teenager, fully grown up.
mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say that like the leaving and coming back, I don't find it's ever too shocking. Mikhail, I hardly recognized when I saw in Europe, but he changed a lot. He's in a bulk season. That's what he called it. So yeah, I mean, but no, I don't feel like it's anything too. No, not really, to be honest.
No.
No, people change, but it's like I expect them to change, and so it's not like a jarring effect. Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like watching you. Even when you left initially from Canada, and then seeing you, it's like kind of like a different kind of independence that you kind of had to have because you don't have your family nearby.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming here and seeing what you do and what you've done, and like hearing about the things in the bakery when things just go wildly wrong and you're just having to figure it out.
Yeah.
And like all of those things that push you towards being more independent version of you.
Mm-hmm.
And like Lexi referenced it earlier, but when we first came to Nicaragua, like we didn't go anywhere without each other. It was like we went to yoga together, we went to the beach together, we went to the grocery shop together. Like we did so many things together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, for me, has been a big change. Is like, I remember when we were in Italy, and like it was the first time we're all a family of 7 and trying to leave room, be like, well, it's Javier and Lexi's first time like leaving the country together, and like leaving room, and like there's this awkwardness that comes with parenting in certain seasons because you don't really know what you're doing. Well, you don't know what you're doing. It's your first time here, and it's your kid's first time here too. So you're both trying to figure out like what are we doing? Because we typically always do it this way. Like Lexi's been like my little Polly Pocket. Like we go everywhere together. When having this partner be like wanting to give space, for me that trip felt like really like I don't know what we're doing, you know? And I almost felt like in some ways, oh, I let them down, or like I don't know how to do this right. I've never been a parent to an adult in this sense, with this independence and with a partnership and these things. Is like I'm gonna have a different role. Like I play a different role in their life. I remember talking to you one time about it. It's like your whole life you have as a child, you have these main characters in your life. And then it's like the story changes and you have new main characters. And I'm no longer, even though we talk every day, so I'm still a character in your story daily, but I'm not the main character. I'm not the one helping you move, or the one helping you at the bakery, or the one like, going out for lunch with you, or folding your laundry with you. It's like now there's somebody else that's the main character. And I think as a parent, you just like stumble half-ass backwards into things, being like, I hope I do this right, And sometimes you do, and then sometimes you just don't. And it felt like that for me, I think, was just like, it was so awesome to see you, but also just it felt like you're driving a standard for the first time, and you're not really sure how to get from first to the third, and from fifth back to second,
Mhm.
because you're just making all these like what felt like very jerky motions and movements.
Well, no, I could see that with you. You were like kind of like, oh, like just over here a little bit. I was like, okay. I was like, said to Javier, I remember we were going to bed, and I was like, I swear to God, my mom and dad have never done more things together in my entire life. We wake up, they're gone. Where are they? I have no one knows. I asked the kids, where did mom and dad go? I don't know. Back at 4 p.m. Like, where were you? Couldn't call you. No, unavailable. Like, where are they going all these times? I don't even know. On a drive, grocery shopping. I don't know. They're like, go downstairs. What? They're gone. They're gone.
And
And
that
I was like, I was like, Javier kept telling me, he's like, be happy for your mom that she has someone to do things with now. Like, finally she can do things with your dad. Be happy for her. I'm like, I'm trying. But anytime I go to see where she is, she's like out of the house or behind her closed door. And I'm like, I don't want to go and knock on her bedroom door, but their bedroom door is never closed. And so like things like that, I was like, I don't know what to do about this. He's like, be happy for her that she's like not, relying on you to like you and her have to like, she has her person now. Like, I know. He's like, you came with someone, let her have her time with her dad. Like, yeah, but I'm not going to be here all the time, babe. So she needs to just, spend some time with me. So anyways, I would just like, I could feel that in you. And I was trying not to feel like
left out.
left out in a
Yeah.
way. Because I was like, this is how we normally do things, Javier. You don't understand. We do things all the time together. And now she just like traded me out for my dad. I was being so dramatic. And he's like, that's just not the case. But like, it's fair. Yeah, maybe she did. You're gone. Like, she needs someone else to do things with now. I was like, okay, I guess. But no, it was a good little reminder. Like, you're being a little bit selfish. Let your mom have fun with your father. Okay.
I do remember that tension, and it was like, again, like I said, we're all living in the same place together, so you're with each other all the time. But also, like having you move across the world was, I think both of us. I shouldn't speak for you. For me, I definitely felt like I was like I lost two arms or something like that. It was like I don't really know what to do with myself, because my everything partner, like painting, planning the kids' school schedules, cooking, uh, organizing, downsizing, purging, shopping, picking out new clothes, like thrifting. You were my person. And I remember us sitting at the store restaurant up the way, Piece and Cake, and we were just sitting there like, I can't imagine waking up and you not being in my everyday life. And like having like a real sob of being like, everything is changing.
But I feel like it was definitely very difficult when I first got here. I was trying to just, really embrace all being here in the moment and, not be too sad about things. Just be like, I'm here in this moment, so be in this moment. Don't be wishing for other things. And so, yeah, but I think that's how it's supposed to go in a sense, where I do feel like you have done so many more things with dad, and I don't think you would have been able to do that if I was still here.
No, I don't
Do you know
think
what I mean? Like, I feel like in a sense it's like, yeah, it was like losing an arm, but then you now get to rely on this other person who I think in some ways should be in that place a little bit more for certain things.
100%. But it was like, I can recall many times like Dad and I were doing something, and all of a sudden like we're driving and like Lexi's head's right here.
Yeah, I'm right between you guys.
Or like
So what are we talking about?
we'd be like in the bedroom talking about planning something, and all of a sudden Lexi's like, she's like, "Great, oh, what are we looking at Airbnbs? Are we planning something? Like, where are we going for dinner?" You know, like it was just like,
Where are we going? You guys
Yeah.
can't leave without me.
That's right. And a lot of times you would.
Yeah.
You just had like a front row seat, and you were kind of one of the adults, and the other kids just they weren't really included in those
Well, I
things.
remember we went to like this. We were in London for this liturgist things. The kids had like a 24-hour awake party
Yeah.
or something where they were just watching movies for 24 hours. I was like, that does not sound fun to me. I'm not gonna sit there eating cereal for 24 hours. Absolutely not.
No.
We just went with you guys. Yeah,
You did.
going to dinner. We're doing things.
So yeah, it was kind of like you just hung out with us all the time, and I
Yeah.
think that, and then Dad, he's not a possessive person, and he's not like jealous. He's like, yeah, you guys go do your thing, and he would just do
Stay home
something.
and watch a movie.
Yeah, and while you and I would go out.
Yeah, sorry, we're gonna need to go out now.
Yeah, we're going to yoga again, and we just did those kind of things. It was a needed change.
Yeah.
And it was like something that had to happen for you and for me, but
Mhm.
it felt a little bit like the umbilical cord was being cut for the first time.
Yeah.
Because we had done so many things together, and it needed to happen, and maybe even needed to happen in such a dramatic way where you living in a different country.
Yeah, for it to actually have been.
Yes, like for you to actually like rely on this other person and build a relationship with them and have the hard conversations, because you're not a confrontational person, have a really hard time bringing things up. But when you're like, don't have anybody else to talk about that with in person, it's like, I guess I have to talk to my person about this, which it probably has propelled your relationship with Javier.
It probably has. I didn't even have like, there were some things we definitely need to talk about in our relationship, and I didn't bring it up till over. We had been dating for like a year.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm a very slow to bring things forward person.
You are.
But I've gotten really good at it now.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I work in a very different way, where he's more of like an action person, and I'm definitely in action, but I like to, you know, yeah, I feel like we found a really good balance. If not, it would take me before so long to work up the courage to express my feelings, that when I did, it was like just like a bit of like, it was like a lot. It was like 3 or 4 hour conversations about things, and it's just like, whoa, this is a lot I didn't realize was hiding in there.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, well, it's been there for like a year and a half, so you know, it's all coming out now. Versus I've gotten really good at just like, you know, both of us, as I was saying before, like I've helped him grow so much, because like his usual ways of dealing with confrontation were very much more, if something bothered him, he had more of a shut down situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think he helped me grow in the sense of, you don't need to wait so long to bring something up. And so I got to like once every month I'd bring something up, and now I bring it up in the moment, and then we deal with it. Because we made a joke the other day about how I'd be like, yeah, this thing you did like 2 months ago on a Thursday afternoon, I've really been thinking about it for like this long. And he's like, what? You've been thinking about it for that long? And I'd be like, yeah, I just like didn't know my feelings about it, and I couldn't tell you the way if you needed to address it. And so now we've figured out ways of like, if something, you know, needs to be talked about, I bring it up right away. And then same for him, he won't, in the beginning, he would just shut down, which I'm like, I don't understand what happened here. And we've both really worked hard at both like him bringing it forward and me bringing it forward, and just like talking about it in the moment. And then you don't need to have like a 4-hour conversation, because it's not just sitting there for so long, which is good.
Yeah.
But if you were here, I would probably just use you instead of actually having those conversations.
Yeah.
Which
you don't have to have that growth, but you had to have that growth, as well as me. I think like Dad and I have had a good relationship, especially the last like 10 years, but there's still so much growth you can have in a relationship. And I think that's one thing we've learned is, not that we didn't love our sidekick, you know, our little Polly Pocket gal.
Yep.
But it's almost like we needed to not have that, so that the two of us could find each other in a different way. And it's like, yes, I felt like I lost 2 arms, but then I grew 2 new ones. And I have this relationship with him that I didn't have.
Yeah.
And it needed like, yeah, your kids are meant to grow up and like fly and go up on their own journey. You're not meant to be in your mom's pocket your whole life, and that wouldn't be healthy for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that we could have known that or change that had we just continued to be in the same area, really. Like even living in the same house would have been difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I had to make friends.
Yeah.
And even when I really just was so annoyed by them, I was like, well, I just don't have any other friends right now, so I'm going to have to just knuckle through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember I used to, anytime I would make a friend, they would become friends with you, and then they'd always be like, so is your mom around? I'm like, yeah, she is. Like, well, let's see if she wants to come to lunch with us. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, it was the first time I was like making friends on my own.
Yeah.
Because all of your friends were also my friends in ways too.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossovers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a big change, learning how to be a mom. I think there were times that I would wonder, because like you're not a very verbal person. You wear a lot on your face, but you don't say a lot with your mouth. Typically, like you said, like you would take a year or whatever, how long to think about a Thursday to talk to Javier about it.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not always very verbal, but you like, will express things like you're very expressive in your body language.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sometimes thinking about you being here and being like, well, I hope she's eating. Or is she like, because I would sometimes forget to eat. I'm like, I hope she's not doing things that I would do and like forget to eat. Or I hope that she's like okay. Or when she has like those monthly cramps, I hope that like someone's there and like holding her. Or like, I wonder if she's really happy. Or is she lonely? Like, does she miss me? You know, like all these things are going on in my head, but also like trying to figure out how to mother but not be someone who needed you to be that for me. Because there was a period where I really had a hard time. Like when you walked away that day at the airport, I mean, I like pretty much fell to the ground and just like sobbed, being like, that is my person walking away from me right now. Like I handcrafted that, you know, and like we just held so much for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And watching you walk away and just being like shattered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do I do this anymore? It was like everything just turned gray. That's a crazy experience when you're like, don't anticipate. You don't know how to hold space for that. So you live it.
Yeah, I had always said there's a thing like, with being the ones who are traveling, we're always the ones who are leaving. Which is tricky because now you guys will be leaving me. Yeah.
It's never fun being left behind.
No.
Yeah. I heard somebody say this thing about like when you can cry about lack of someone in your life, it just means that there was like love there. So it's pretty cool. I love that.
So that's cool.
I mean, that we care about each other that much. It's like, oh, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
You know, like even thinking about leaving here, I'm like, oh, like there's so much time here. I feel like we had so much time and it's gone by so quickly.
Yeah.
And like the wedding is coming up, but after the wedding is like a conclusion of our time here. So it's like exciting, but also like it's like the story's about to change, the chapter's about to change.
But at the same time, it's like, you know, I probably wouldn't be up here as much if you guys lived here full time.
Yeah.
Right? And so when you are, you know, there's a timeline to things, you really value the time that you do have. And so you try to embrace it more, which is the one beautiful thing I think I find about traveling is it's like you're always so present because you know there's a date to it ending, which is not how people normally live their lives.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really, really valuable thing.
It definitely creates awareness of time.
Yeah.
And it also like it makes you appreciate the time that you have. Like this Christmas just felt like magic to me.
Hmm.
Because it's like we woke up on the 26th and you weren't here, but I was like, man, that was like one of my favorite Christmases.
Oh, that's so sweet, Mom.
Yeah. I think just because like we're all together and like having a little person in the room adds an element of like magic and mystery and just like wonder, and him coming out as Santa Claus and like ho 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 with his little Merry Christmas, you know.
So cute.
And just like seeing him light up and even then playing the games and those things, like he's into it. And it's just like...
I'm disappointed it's not my turn.
Yeah, totally disappointed. But just like feeling like our family is like, it feels really whole. You know, like Javier is very much like a part of our family. He's very much like a son, and Liam's very much like a grandson, you know? And it's like, it just felt like we're all here, and the harmony that it felt like on that day was just like, it felt so complete and peaceful. It just,
Sweet mom.
yeah, it's true. I was like, that was like a really magical day, having everybody together. Also know what it's like to not be together.
Yeah.
Last Christmas you were here, and it was like, man, I just wanted you to be with us, you know, and like, how do we get you here really quickly, like, you know, and all of that. But just like knowing what it's like to not be together on Christmas, and how your heart kind of aches for those that aren't there with you, you know, it just adds a different measure of like value and quality.
Yeah, because you value it more.
Yeah.
No, that's very true.
It's like time. You just have a different value for the time that you're together, because you know, you're aware that it's not every day.
Which, again, yeah, I think it's better that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as it's hard, you know that the coming home is gonna feel as great.
No, I think it's better.
Yeah.
Personally, because I think you just take for granted being so close or doing things like, yeah.
Yeah. I'll just see you tomorrow. But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like, Javier's parents live right next door to us, and Javier goes every morning to say good morning and all of that, and we'll say goodnight, but we'll go over there, but it's, like, very, you know, the times that we're actually sitting outside and laughing and listening to music and all hanging out isn't that often, actually. Like, it doesn't happen as much as you would think, considering they're next door.
Yeah.
But, like, I know if there's, like, we know that we're leaving soon to come visit you guys, we'd probably do that every night, because it's like, hey, we know that there's, like, a timeline to it.
Yeah.
Or if you guys lived here full time, it would probably be, like, maybe a week before I'd see you at the fruit market. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, more of those things. But since I know there's a timeline, I make an effort to, like, make sure we come over for dinner and, you know, do those things, which you might just not do if you...
Yeah. Just aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it works out for the better, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we've learned that over the years. And even though it is hard, there is like a beauty to that cadence in life, and that it's just a more awareness. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we've kind of come full circle.
Covered all the bases.
Anything else that you're like, oh man, this thing I've just been... I mean, this is part 2 of little Lexi Lou. Next part 3 might be when you have kids, who knows?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
But no, I just wanted to do like a continuation, because I know in your first podcast you're like, wow, like traveling changed me, and it opened your eyes to a lot of things, and it like you met little kids in orphanages in Mexico and these places that you just like were part of who you became. I mean, how you evolved, and then finding your person. And we kind of joked about it when you guys were younger, like, oh, we'll just probably be dropping kids off around the world. And
Probably, though.
kind of seems how it might be, is like, I mean, who knows when the kids meet somebody else where that'll be and what that will look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I feel like you guys will. You'll just spend a month here, month here, month here, and then start the trip again.
Yeah.
Probably.
A 4-month rotation.
Yeah.
It could be.
If we're all over, then yeah. And you guys thought I would be the last to leave, fly the coop, but
You did
I
too.
was the first.
You were like, I'm not going nowhere. I'll be the last to leave.
I was determined in that too.
You were.
Yeah.
Some funny what love does.
It'll change you.
It'll change you.
No. What's one of your greatest accomplishments?
Ooh. Well, that is a really good question.
Yep, came up with that all on my own.
Yeah, right. I think learning to be a mom, but more importantly, like the continuation of learning to be a mom. I wrote something down the other day about how the last 3 years I've learned things about motherhood that I never imagined I would need to. And one of those things was like, one of my greatest accomplishments might be how I have learned to let go as a mom.
That takes a lot of work.
Because when you initially left, I was like, it was like my world went gray. and I wasn't sure how I was going to like get my actions to match my heart, because in some ways I would be like, Janelle, like, just let go. Like, it's fine. But then
You were trying so hard. I could see you
it was
trying
such
really
a
hard.
battle between my actions and my head. And even though my head is like, you need to let go, like, you're so happy for her. But then my actions wouldn't show that, or my face wouldn't show that, or my tears wouldn't show that. And I just didn't know how to get the two to align. And it wasn't until I really understood how gray my world had become from holding on so tight. Like how anything other kids did, it was just like they didn't light me up. They didn't, like, there wasn't color. It was like my life was gray. And it was like there wasn't color because it was like I allowed you leaving to be all of the color. And when that wasn't there, it was like there was nothing.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, what not my greatest, one of my greatest accomplishments, I would say, is learning how to let go. And I think when I realized I once was the girl leaving and moving far away, and I didn't know what I needed my mom to do, but I needed her to do something that she wasn't able to do. She didn't know how. And I just wanted her to tell me it was going to be okay. I wanted her to tell me that she was like so proud of me and I was going to do amazing things, and that the hard parts and the loneliness was something I would discover and I could go to her with. But she didn't know how to give that. And I remember being in that same position, being like, I know that she's going to do fine. In fact, I know this is her person. I knew it was her person before she knew it was her person. And coming to grips with that and coming to a peace with that and be like, no, you know, this is exactly where she's supposed to be. And letting you go in a way where you don't need to be my pillar.
Yeah.
That I could be your pillar, that if you ever were lonely, you could call, and wasn't like, I told you, hun, you know, or like you would feel like, well, mom said this and I don't want to tell her that because I need to be a pillar for mom. I wanted to be the pillar for her. And I think that's something I didn't really realize would come with this stage in parenting when your kids grow up and move away, is that there is such a layer of new understanding as a parent and how to do this right. And
probably understanding as well as like why your parents did it the way they did, because you can see it from their perspective now.
100%. I can see my mom's anguish. I can feel what she felt and not knowing what to do with that. And like,
because it was so interesting for me, because you had always talked about that and what you had kind of wished that your mom had been able to give you. And I could see you trying so hard not to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And it was really difficult for you.
It was.
And you were trying so hard, and I could see how difficult it was for you to not just do what you had always hoped that your mom had done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was really difficult.
It was unmeasurably hard.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to prepare yourself for that.
Which also, if you think about it, if you hadn't had that experience before, you probably very easily would have done the same thing.
I wouldn't have had the
because you wouldn't have had the understanding of what it's like to be on the other end.
No.
Yeah.
No. It was like a full circle moment. And I could see my younger 19-year-old self being like, tell me it's going to be okay. You know, and my mom just being like, she just was so sad. I mean, I was the youngest and I was moving across the world and everybody else had moved far away. And so it's like, I was just that last, and I'm sure my mom's world did feel gray to a degree.
I'm sure it really
and
did.
It really took me realizing like, no, like you're meant to fly and I need to be the pillar that you can rely on, not vice versa. Be like, I got to be mom's pillar because she's such a hard time when I come and go. It's like, you know, even when you left Italy or Spain, I was like, okay, she's doing what, like I had come to such peace.
No, you had come, I was really shocked when I left in Scotland. You were just like, hey, bye, hun. I was like, goodbye. she's doing better, I guess.
Right. I'd come to such peace realizing, no, you're exactly where you're supposed to be and where you should be. That it's not that wasn't sad. I didn't miss you the next morning, but it was like, no, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like she's living her life and she's meant to live her life. And I would never want to keep her in my pocket just so that I could keep her with me. That wouldn't be fulfilling to her. And I think that's one of my greatest accomplishments, is learning how to parent and let go in these last 3 years. And that extends to like Ellie as well. Learning to not hold tight to like trying to fix something that wasn't mine to fix. So, before we kind of wrap it up, I always like to ask my guests, what's bringing you joy? What brought you joy this week?
Christmas brought me joy.
Yeah.
That was this week, Mom.
That's crazy. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, Christmas. I don't know.
Yeah.
Chopped the cake right there. Yeah, definitely Christmas. Quiche. I love quiche on Christmas. Dinner, all of it. The day. Lovely. The book, pajamas. The simple things.
Yeah.
Definitely Christmas. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
How about you?
I'm gonna say, like I said, Christmas was like it was a highlight for me.
Highlight of the year? I mean, not even of the week.
It was just like so. It felt like this like really nice magic like glow around it the whole day. Just like everybody waking up together in the same house, like that's so sweet, you know. And then pulling out some of my mom's traditions that she did and she would make, and having a taste of home here with all of us. Like asked her for her recipes, for her pie recipe, for her, you know, her waffle recipes and these things and the sauce, and it's all those things. It just also takes me back to like what feels like home. And you can bring home wherever you are. I mean, it's where your people are, but there's other little components that can add to that where it's like, oh, home, you know.
For sure.
I think that incorporating some of those things from my childhood and being able to be the parent, like Dad and I both said, like it felt like this was the first year like we were like the parents. That sounds strange, but it's like I think it's because Liam was there, so it had another level and layer of like just holding space for everybody. You know, differently than just holding it for your 4 kids. But now it's like the family's growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the family is growing for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that was probably my highlight, and just like brought me so much joy. I was like, oh, I feel like I was talking all day about it on the 26th, and just
so
like
sweet,
it
Mom.
was such a special Christmas.
I didn't know that you felt that way about it. That's so sweet.
Yeah, I did.
That's
I really
nice. It was a really lovely day. Javier was not expecting to stay over on the 24th. He was like, oh, very, very happy to do it. But he was like, oh, we're
actually
a joke?
doing that.
I'm like, no, they're serious. It's like, okay, yeah. We left that night. His parents were like, where are you going? It's like 11:30. He's like, oh, we're staying over at their house. They're like, do you have beds here? I was like, yeah, but like it's your tradition, Mom. I don't even know. And yeah, we just left.
You just went with it.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
It's like, yeah, it's a tradition. I don't know why, but they want to wake up all in the same house, I guess.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Well, let's cap it off here, but I'm going to ask Lexi a few other pointed questions. So if you want or are part of the Patreon, head over there and you can listen to a little bit more of our conversation about just some like more pointed questions. But thank you so much for being here, for joining us, for taking this thought. It's like a little special time when I have my kids here and talk about where life has taken us and where it is taking us and where we've come from. And now that she's capping off like this end of this year with just being engaged, and next year going to be married and all the things that come with that.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just excited to have you here for part 2, so thank you so much.
Thanks for having me back, Mom.
Cheers.
Yeah, we didn't even
talk about our drinks. Lexi's having spiked eggnog and I have chia seeds and coconut water. Totally different palettes today.
Yep.
But we know we love.
Love your little lime water, Mom.
I do. Anyways, have a beautiful day. I want to thank you so much for being here, for taking the time to listen to the Naked Podcast. It honestly means so much. If there's something in the episode that has moved you, share it with someone who might need to hear it too. And if you haven't already, give us a follow and leave a review. It helps so much to keep the momentum and keep the show growing. For more conversations, reflections, and ways to stay connected, check out the link in the show notes. Until next time. If you would like to connect with us or possibly share your story, please contact us at nakedwithjanelle@gmail.com. That's nakedwithjanelle@gmail.com. Thanks so much.